What is up, guys? So, as you can see, fancy dress this weekend. I'm going dressed as Brian Cockerell. Did I mention I used to be massive? I used to be a rally driver, and I used to wrestle with the bulldogs. I had hideous strength and speed that defied the laws of physics. And that hard, like if I broke your jaw, I could tell you how many places I broke it. And then guess your weight. That's how hard I am. But anyway, so yeah, today we're going to go through the little book, just the basics on prison. And this one's HMP Doncatraz. That's my local jail. That's where I've spent most of my time. I suppose all different prisons are different. This one is a Serco run jail, which I don't know why they seem to be really violent for some reason. Like 90% of the violence I saw in prison was in Doncatraz. But yeah, we're going to get into it. But I tell you what, these days you probably won't even end up in prison. You know, I was watching that. Because this country's on its arse. I was watching that 24 hours in police custody, and usually it's all about immigrants cutting off the wives' heads or stabbing people in the street, but this time, the one last night, was about a woman, right? And this is where we are as a country, right? Domestic violence against a boyfriend, right? She's beat him up, bashed him, put a couple bleeds on his brain, fractured his eye socket, put him in hospital, in intensive care, and she went to prison. She got something like 2 months in prison or something, and then she's got out, and she's gone back, beat him up again, put him in a coma, fractured his eye again, bleed on the brain, and he's ended up in hospital having a heart attack and dying. So she's beat him to death. She just got out of prison for beating him to a coma, and then she gets out, beats him to death. And the charge was Section 18. I mean, to me, that is like the highest grade of murder. It's conspiracy to commit murder. She's planned to get out, to beat him up, you know, and she's killed him. So, but they've charged her with Section 18, and guess what? What brutal sentence she got? This will teach her. 16 months in prison. She'll be out in probably like 6 months for beating someone to death, and she's already done it once, and she just got out and done it again. I mean, what message is that sending? What planet are we on where you can beat someone to death and get 16 months in prison? But that's where we are now. I mean, what's happening with that Southport rat? You know, something fishy's going on there. You know, all these wild immigration. The country's gone. It's knackered. I mean, just look at London. This is a war zone. It winds me up. The only one person that's actually doing something about it is that Tommy Morrison. He's done more for the little girls getting raped, for the people getting stabbed by dangerous illegal immigrants, than anyone. He's done more than anyone. And look what they've done. They've thrown him in prison for talking about it. And I saw the other day, I don't know if it's true, it's there's something like they're going to arrest him again for some tweets from back in the day. I mean, it's just, but that's what they're going to do now. Now they've got him, they're probably not going to let him go. There'll be all the higher up, all the Mohammed Akbars, whatever they're called. They'll be in their ears saying, "Oh yeah, we've got to keep him in. We've got to keep him in. He's a racist and all this." But all he's trying to do is protect little kids from getting raped and people getting stabbed in the streets. But I mean, now this is how bad it is now. The most common name in England is Mohammed. So you tell me, we're getting taken over. But yeah, it just winds me up. I can't even say his real name because it's my dog. I can't even say his real name because your videos just get deleted. And now they've got him. He's probably not going to get out now. They're just going to keep him in there. They're going to keep making phony charges up for him, and they'll probably keep him in there. But that's where we are as a country now. It's knackered. We go to my town and no one speaks English anymore. You go in the job centre, they're all foreign. Everywhere you go, it's foreigners. It's not the England I knew. You know, it's not England anymore. I mean, you're just going to have to call it miscellaneous now because there's hardly any English people left. But anyway, I'm going to go through the book. It's winding me up. So, when you first get there, you will be interviewed by a reception officer. I don't think they do that anymore. Like I say, immigration again, there's that many people coming through now. They probably don't have time. Your property will get checked and logged, photograph taken, fingerprints. You will be interviewed with a nurse privately. Again, probably won't do that anymore. You will be offered tobacco advance or a non-smokers pack. I spoke about that yesterday. You used to get Golden Virginia, and then it went to Drum, then it went to Foster's, and then I think they were just picking stuff up off of the floor and putting it in a packet. Say there, have that. And we were smoking it as well. £2 phone credit advance. Yeah, they do vapes now. I don't know if you still get like a vape when you first come in. Second class mark envelope as well. Yeah, you get a little £2 phone advance, because obviously you're going to need to phone someone and tell them where you are, and then they give you a second class envelope as well. So if you ring when you're in reception, they do give you a phone call in reception, and you need to ring whoever you need to ring. If they're not in, then you have to. I think now they have PIN codes where you have to register a number, and if it's accepted, then you can ring them. You get a phone in your cell now. You didn't used to when I was there. Then you get an ID card. Yeah, in your cell you get a TV now with basic channels on it. That's pretty much your lifeline. It makes prison a lot easier, and probably saved countless lives. And you get a little kettle if you're lucky. They're supposed to be in all the cells, but half the time they haven't got one in there. And then you get a little phone. It's just like a little, like a house phone plugged into the socket. And then you'll get an ID card. You'll get your toiletries, which is a sachet shampoo, toothbrush, razor blade, and some bog roll and some bedding. You are now escorted to your house block where you will be interviewed by a PCO. Yeah, they don't do that anymore. They just take you up and just throw you in a thing. And when I was doing time, I was always on heroin, so I was detoxing when I came in, and it's treacherous. I mean, prison's crap anyway, but when you're detoxing from drugs, it's even worse. And they used to put everyone on the same wing. They changed it to one point where they'd put you on a lower med, which was like one flew over the cuckoo's nest. It was horrible. Everybody was rattling, everybody's stinky feet. It was nasty. But it was always warm down there. I'll give them credit for that one. And then they changed it and put everybody on a induction wing. And what they used to do is, which drove everybody mad, you'd have to go on a 3-day induction telling you about the prison, what you expect from you, what you can expect from them. But if you've been there before, you know it all. So, I'd been there like 20 times, and I've got to sit through it again for 3 days. And the last thing you want to do is sit there going through, telling you what you already know. Because when you're rattling, you just want to lay on a bed and die. That's why I used to do my time. When I first get there, if I'm rattling, I don't want to be around anyone. I just lock myself in my cell. And, I probably won't come out for like 2 weeks until I started feeling a bit better. And then I'd start coming out. And when you first land on the wing, it's crap. Because you ain't got anything, you don't know where to sit, you don't know who's who, you don't know where the Donny table is, you don't know anything, and everybody's the same, when you first get there. Once you've been there a while, you get to see who's what, and if you like I was well known in that prison because I was always there, like every time you go to prison, there's always that one guy who always seems to be there, and that was me. So most people knew I was. And if you're well known and people like you, then they'll have a little rally round, like if you go onto a wing and there's a load of Donny lads, they'll rally round to get you some little bits and bobs and get you some clothes if you need some clothes. And it's kind of like a camaraderie in prison, which it's good, but if you're a little muppet, then you probably won't get out. First night. See, I'm sure this has changed now. They used to do breakfast from 8:30 till 9. They used to give you like a bowl of porridge or some cereals. Now you get little breakfast packs, which has got like tea bags, a sachet of coffee in it, a couple sachets of sugar, and you get like a little pack of cornflakes and a little box of milk, tiny little quarter pint or something. And you get it all in a bag, and that's your breakfast. And then dinner, you get a sandwich now, just like a cheese sandwich. And then evening meal, you'd get something like a pasty and some potatoes or something. And big thing in prison is the duff. I always used to give mine away because I don't want to be fat and unhealthy. When I'm in prison, I want to lose weight. I want to get myself right. When you first get there, it's best to eat as much as you can to put weight on, because you're an addict. But when if you're a big fat cunt, then it's a good way to lose weight. And I'd put too much weight on, so I used to give my duffs away. A duff is like a sponge and custard, or something like that, like jam sponge and custard, or they call it a duff in prison. And yeah, lots of people, the apple crumble, custard, that sort of thing. And people used to love that sort of stuff. This is that day one induction, gym induction. So we have to sit while they tell you about going to the gym. It's like you don't know. Carrot presentation. I can't remember what that stands for. Offender management, resettlement, prison information, categorization, allocation, housing and benefits, buddy presentation. And you have to sit through all this. Even though you would know it all, you've got to sit through it all again. Day 2 induction, education, classes available. See, when you've been in Donny a while, you can get a job. I've done pretty much all of them. I've been on the survey, I've done cleaning, I've done outside works party where you have to go around picking up rubbish outside. That's a pretty good job. Survey is a good job, but it comes with responsibility. You always get people wanting more, or you get people, they're not happy, and then see. I used to treat it like, well, this is food for the prisoners, so you can have as much as you want. But then we'd always end up running out. But yeah, it's a good job, but it does come with a lot of stress. Day 3 induction, incentive regime, new reception, standard regime. See, when you first get there, you're on standard regime, which is like you get certain amount, you just get normal amount of time out of your cell, normal amount of money to spend, and if you behave, then you can apply to get enhanced. I don't think I've ever been enhanced, but if you behave, you can get enhanced. So you come out of your cell more, you get more time on visits, you get to spend more money. But then if you misbehave, then they'll send you down the block, and you end up on basic, where you don't get no TV, you don't get no spending money, you're not allowed to spend any money at the canteen, you don't get out your cell, you're just banged up all the time. I have been on basic for a few times, just being daft, being a muppet, just trying to make people laugh and mess about, very immature. But but what I would say is the best thing you can do is get your head down, document everything, because you might need to know. There's loads of stuff I went through what I forgot about. I wish I'd have documented everything. And take advantage, do a course, get down education. I've done education. I didn't really enjoy it because I chose the wrong ones. I chose IT, and thinking you're going to learn about the internet and how to work, but it's all just word processing and that's fucking shit. So I don't like going down education. But you can do courses in there. You can get A levels and all that sort of stuff. So I would say just take advantage of that sort of stuff. Don't be a dick like I was. Medication, special sick. Nowadays they give you methadone, Subutex. I'm still on buprenorphine, very low dose. I'll be coming off it next year. There's always someone in the comments, oh, you're still using. I never hide it. I used to be an addict, and now I'm on buprenorphine, very low dose. But in prison, yeah, they give you it now. When I was doing time, they didn't give you note. They did towards the end. And what they have to do is, if you say you're on methadone, they have to ring your chemist. And then once they've got it verified, then they'll give you your stuff. But if you're not, then I think they give you like 40 mil of methadone. Just if you're an addict. And the way they know is they'll piss test you. But yeah, that's about it. Carrot, can't remember what that stands for. Counselling, advice, referral, assessment. That's a drug worker in prison. Canteen shops tells you when. Oh, there's a picture of drum tobacco. Any jailhead will know all about that horrible stuff. Pipe tobacco. Need someone to talk to. Oh, this is a good one. The buddies. The buddy system. You're on a buddy system now, buddy. One or more of the... A buddy is somebody who's a prisoner who's like it gives you advice. You know, if you're feeling low, and people in prison take it as a weakness. You know, if you see a buddy, it's like, he can't cope, he's suicidal, look at that knob. But you know, if you're struggling, if you've got responsibilities, if you've got children, you know, if you've just got 10 years and you're missing your wife and your kids, you might feel suicidal, you know, might feel like all hope is lost. And then you can go and talk to a buddy who's a fellow prisoner, you know, he's been there, he knows what it's like, he'll just try and give you a bit of advice, and yeah, just someone to talk to, I guess. But in prison, it's seen as a weakness if you talk to a buddy. That's just the way it is in prison, you know, it desensitizes you to everything. Searching, you will be searched on a regular basis. Now, just this last one before I go, it's 15 minutes. I don't want to waffle on too much. Searching, when you get to prison, depending on the prison, like I say, when I first went, Doncatraz was a Cat A, so you just got searched everywhere you went. And the search is you have to take all your clothes off, hand it to them, turn around, pull your bum cheeks apart, bend over, cough, go and you have to do that like 3 or 4 times a day. And you get used to it in the end, you know, but it's still degrading. And I can't imagine looking up people's bumholes all day. But I suppose it's a job. You know, that's literally a shit job. But anyway, we're halfway through. We'll do the other half tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed this video. Press the thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to the channel. The Syndicat d'Initiative.